Hey, Tim Sykes here, and I actually have decent Wi-Fi right now, so I wanted to make a quick video lesson. I am in Southeast Asia, in case you did not know, for the next few days. I'm visiting two of the schools that my charity foundation has funded. I'm meeting the kids, I'm meeting the teachers. We're trying to see how we can really get education more prominent here in Asia and pretty much all over the world. You know, education is not sexy or popular. Today's video lesson is about education and the results of education. I'm kind of fortunate where what I teach can directly impact your wealth. So that makes people a little more motivated. First of all, I should also mention before I get into today's video, we have this holiday sale going on Profitly with all these newsletters, all these DVDs, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% off various stuff. Invest in your education, save on our annual holiday sale. But right now, I want to talk just about what you guys talk to me about and tweet at me. I check so many messages. I get 3,000 plus emails a day. I'm getting Facebook messages, Instagram messages, Snapchat messages. But I really like tweets because you can see it. I can share it very easily. You know, I don't have to like copy and paste any screenshot. I can just retweet it. And you guys can talk to me. I see every single message. My whole goal is to be the best teacher. So I'm also kind of like the most obsessive. And that's good and bad. You know, my friends, my fiance, my family all think that I'm like crazy how much time I spend on this. But if you truly want success, you can't think about time, okay? I could probably be almost as good of a teacher if I put in like 3/4 of the time, or maybe even a sufficient teacher if I put in half the time. If I put in like 1/8 the time, I'd be like most other stock trading and financial teachers. But I want to be the best, so I put in the most amount of time. And it's not just about me sharing lessons with you, it's about you sharing with me what you're learning. And I know this is kind of a weird point to make, but I want you to tweet at me. I want you to send me more messages. Leave a comment at the bottom of this video. Let me know what I'm doing right and wrong in my teaching, because I am always looking to improve. There's nothing that I will not try to try and, share these lessons with you and make you more profitable, because my business is growing because I have the most successful students. Here's Riggs, and this is awesome. This is what I really want today's video lesson to be about. Okay, message me, that's cool, but there seems to be this point where students get to and everything clicks. Maybe not everything, but enough stuff clicks where you're like, okay, I don't have to catch the exact bottom or the exact top. Take the meat of the move. And Riggs nailed it on DCIX. Here's Quincy nailing it, making nearly 2,000 on TOPS, taking the meat of the move, even though it went higher. And he says, I'm finally getting it. Here's Damien, and he says, just made a day's wages in 4 minutes with my small $500 account buying OPTT. So I want you to look at this. There's more too. Here's Iggy. He made 2,000, and he says, now I can get my daughter her present. And this is what's awesome. And he says, it's a complete game changer today for me. So these people who are tweeting at me had something click in their heads with these supernovas, and they learned to use the volatility to profit. And I love this, like Iggy is making money, and now he's getting, his daughter some nice holiday gifts. So I love that. And here's a tweet from my student Van Ryan. He says, if you listen to your mentor and follow his instructions, you will learn a lot of valuable lessons and make a lot of money. I can't guarantee this, but if you do pay attention and not just listen, not just follow instructions, not like be like this, monkey who just follows directions without understanding. You have to be independent. You have to be self-sufficient. So I'm trying to share with you the lessons that I've learned, the patterns that I've learned, the counterintuitive rules that I've learned over the years. You are free to ignore them. You are free to disbelieve them and bet against them. All I can do is try and share with you stuff that I've learned and try to get you thinking kind of like me. Because I think that's good. Sometimes I'm wrong, obviously, and I lose. But even my losses, especially in 2016, if you look back at my trades, the losses are very small compared to the gains. And I want that for you. If you're not perfect, if you're just starting, obviously you're going to have losses, but you can manage your losses. You can manage your risk. As I said in prior video lessons, this is not like going to the casino and betting all on red or black and doubling your money or losing money. There's many different ways to make a little money or lose a little money. And you have to think like that, because it's so tough for me to teach you and pass down these lessons. But Like, look at Iggy. I mean, he's making his money on DRYS, SINO, and a little PTCT. These are the hottest sector plays right now, DRYS and SINO. So he's just buying the momentum. And that's awesome. Making 2 grand, and he has like roughly 27 grand. So he's making 10% on his money. And I want you to look at this, not just like, oh, Tim's bragging about his students again. I want you to put yourself in Iggy's shoes. I want you to pretend maybe that you have a daughter or a son, or maybe you do, and you want to get them better presents. How do you do that? You have to think a little differently and work backwards. Okay, I want to get my son, daughter, father, mom, pet, whoever, friend, a better present for the holidays. How do I do that? A better present usually costs a little more money. Where am I going to get money? Well, these stocks are insane right now. This is the hottest sector. I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm sure there'll be another sector in a little bit. So you can either try to profit from this sector, or this is kind of like probably the tail end of this run up since it's been going on for several days now, or you can use the weekend really and study the past. I don't know if you realize this, but this one DVD in particular, where is it? My How to Make Millions DVD, which all goes to charity, by the way, and we're now up to what is it? I think we're at like $2 million now raised for charity. And I'm matching it, by the way. So some people are like, oh, you just donate your students' money. I actually match it with my own personal money. That's why my charity can build all these schools all over the world, because we have several $1,000,000 in the charity account. But this one DVD is 35 hours, and it goes over hot sectors exactly like these shipping stocks. So I can almost guarantee you that well, Damien did well, but I can guarantee you that Iggy did well because he's studying. Quincy is doing well because he's studying. Riggs is doing well because he's studying. So you have to work back a little bit, where these are not just random people buying random stocks. I know everybody just wants hot stock picks, but do me a favor, do yourself a favor, and study video lessons and DVDs that I've made, because I made them specifically to make you more successful. But you have to put in the time. I mean, this DVD is literally 35 hours long. And I didn't mean for it to be. It was supposed to be 16 hours, and then 20, and then 24. But I just wanted to put all this information in there. So please take the time just to study and get better prepared. If you missed out on these shipping stocks, it will happen again. There will always be another hot sector. You will not always be prepared. And that, my friends, is sad, because I hate seeing when some people are like, wow, Tim, you're right. There actually is another hot sector. And you didn't believe me the first time, and you didn't take me seriously, and you didn't put in the time to study, so you're thoroughly unprepared, or maybe even slightly unprepared. But by studying past sectors, by studying the past, I'm basically just a glorified history teacher. I've said this many times. It's true. I'm teaching you pattern after pattern, mania after mania, hot sector after hot sector in this one DVD specifically. And obviously I have other DVDs, but if you want to learn how to find sympathy plays, how to buy sympathy plays, how long to hold them, how to recognize whether you should be going long or whether you should be going short, it's all about studying the past. None of these plays are going to be the exact same as in the past. Okay, so get that out of your head right now. Be like, oh, well, the Ebola plays lasted 3 days and Homeland Security lasted 3 days, so shipping will last 3 days. Sometimes you're going to have variations, 3 or 4 or even 5 or 6 days. But it's the same basic gist. And understanding how the game works, understanding how the mania works, that helps you be better prepared in the future. And it's shocking to me that I see so many of you in the chat room where you're like, I've never seen stocks do this before. What? I've been cataloging them for nearly a decade now. So if you've never seen plays like DRYS or SINO, you're unprepared. And of course, the volatility is going to scare you because these are crazy stocks. But if you study the past, you will get more confidence. Obviously, if you witness it firsthand, or ideally if you profit, like Riggs, or Quincy, he says he's finally getting it, or Damien, who says, what day's wages in 4 minutes. Iggy says now he can get his daughter a present, and it's a total game changer. So if you experience it, it's better, because now you're like, okay, I made 2,000 doing this, this, and this. Let me try to replicate that feat on another play. But if you don't have experience, or even if you do have experience, you can supplement that experience by studying the past. You will see this again and again. Obviously, DRYS from 5 to 100, this is probably one of the best in the past few years. But there have been plays that have gone supernova from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 30, 40, 50. AQXP and KBIO are two that come to mind. So it's not a total first, but it's a first if you're not studying and if you're not prepared. So this is my plea to you. Please, please study. Okay, you can hear me probably. I'm stuffy, I'm losing my voice, but I need you to take advantage of the weekends and really grow your knowledge account. And that way you grow your knowledge account and your expertise, and you get a little more confidence, and you start seeing the angles, and then you can be making, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in a day. Then you experience it, and then you do it again and again. It's rinse and repeat. And I know a lot of you guys, this guy Iggy has a $27,000 account. Most of you don't have that. So don't feel like, oh, Tim, I can't make 2,000 in a day. I don't have 27,000. Well, let's say you have $2,700, $2,700, and you make 200 in a day. That's pretty much the same thing, almost exact. It's just 1/10. That's okay too, because it's not just about if you make 2,000 in a day or 500 or even 200. It's about getting it. Okay? It's about game changers. Realizing that you don't have to work a 9-to-5 job anymore to make a day's wages. If you are prepared, if you are ready ahead of time, and you recognize that sympathy plays and low float plays can spike, you can be like Damien and make $500 in 4 minutes. And he didn't even catch the exact top. Okay, OPTT kept going, but he took the meat of the move. You can be like Quincy, and you can say, wait a minute, I'm finally getting it. And he made 2,000. Whether you're making 500, 2,000, or even $50, it's not about the money in the beginning. I know it's difficult to dissociate yourself from that because you all want to make $2,000 in a day. But in the beginning, it's about learning, and it's about getting it and having it all click. And so any profit is a good profit because you've learned how to extract profits from these stocks that the vast majority of the world thinks are totally random, even though all they have to do is look at my DVDs and video lessons to see the damn patterns. This is not rocket science. But most people don't think like that. Most people think, oh, this is just a hot stock. It's never going to happen again. I'm never going to see anything like this in my lifetime. Trust me, I've been trading for 2 decades. You see the same stuff repeat over and over and over again. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And will you be prepared? And the sad reality for most of you is that you're not prepared. So I make these videos and I show off these tweets. Yes, I'm proud of these students making money, but I'm more proud of them getting it. There's a lot of people out there that just post their students, look how much my students make, look at this. But they're not actually learning any valuable rules. They're trading random patterns because they haven't been in the game. Their teacher hasn't been in the game for 2 decades. You can learn a lot of patterns in this bull market, and guess what? If the bear market comes, you get crushed. And I see that's going to happen to too many people learning from newbies and learning from people who claim to be experts, but they're not teaching the right way. I know that I make dumb mistakes. I know that I'm cowardly sometimes and I take profits too quickly. It's because I've been in this game for so long. I see the risks. And I'm not a perfect trader, but hopefully with your help and with your feedback, I can become a better teacher. And that's what this is all about. So you have 2 tasks right now. Number 1, utilize this weekend. Watch my DVDs and video lessons. If you have not seen my How to Make Millions DVD, please watch it. It is all for charity, which is awesome. And secondly, it's so useful. And your second task is to leave more comments. Leave comments at the bottom of this video. Tweet at me. No more emails, please. I can't even keep track of the emails. At least if it's online and it's on Profitly and it's on Twitter, it's easier for my team and I to track. Emails are crazy. So less emails, more social media messaging. Please, I'd appreciate it. But I love hearing from you, not just about the money that you make or lose, but the feedback. Like, oh, I really like this video lesson. It really connected. Or can you talk more about this pattern? I'm trying to teach you. You're in control here, okay? Because I'm trying to motivate you, yes, but I'm also trying to guide you. So if I turn you off with the wrong lessons, and if you lose money, and if you don't want to study anymore, that's bad. I don't want that. So give me some more feedback. Point me in the right direction. What are you understanding? What do you have trouble, with? I want more people like Van Ryan where it's not just about listening to your mentor, it's about learning and sharing what I've learned over the years. So have a great Friday, and please study this weekend. Don't waste the weekend. The weekend is when you can really get ahead, especially because most lazy people just take it entirely off. If you want true success, there are no days off. Remember that. Never forget.